Harley-Davidson is in a civil war. Thousands of riders are refusing to upgrade, clutching their carburetors like gold bars. They say the company is dead. Are they right? Today, we pitted 13 legends against their modern replacements to find the truth. From the Sportster to the Road King, we are exposing the bank-breaking reality. Is newer actually better, or is it a scam? Do not trade your bike until you watch this. We are settling the debate forever. Number 13, Sportster 883, Iron versus Nightster 975. We begin with the death of an icon. For decades, if you wanted to enter the Harley world, you bought a Sportster 883. It was the gateway drug. The old Iron 883 was crude, rude, and absolutely charming. It featured an air-cooled Evolution V twin that shook like a washing machine with an unbalanced load. It made roughly 50 horsepower, which isn't much, but it feels alive. When you twist the throttle, you feel a direct cable connection to the butterfly valve. You could fix it with a hammer. The ergonomics were tight, knees in the breeze, with a low seat that slammed your spine into every pothole. But it was authentic. You sat on the vibration. Best use case? Bar hopping and city brawling. A real rider named Evo Eddie says he has 50,000 miles on his iron, and he has only changed the oil and the clutch plate. It never fails. You can buy these used for $4,000 to $6,000. Enter the replacement, the Nightster 975. It uses the Revolution Max liquid-cooled engine. It makes 90 horsepower. It has ride modes. It has traction control. The gas tank is under the seat to lower the center of gravity. It is objectively a better motorcycle. It stops better, goes faster, and doesn't shake. What was lost here is simplicity. The Evo Sportster was a bike you could chop, weld, and modify in your garage. The Nightster is a computer that you ride. The new bike is for the tech-savvy rider coming from a Japanese sport bike. The old bike is for those who want to feel every combustion stroke. The Nightster costs nearly $14,000 out the door. That is double what the old Iron used to cost. Here is the brutal truth on the scorecard. Value gets a C and DIY gets an F because you can't touch it. Character is a B-, comfort is a B, but tech is a solid A. So if you buy an old Iron 883, look for a post-2004 model for the rubber-mounted engine if you want comfort, or pre-2003 if you want a lighter, rigid mount frame. But if you think the Sportster upgrade was controversial, wait until you see what they did to the most famous custom bike in history. Number 12, Sportster 48 versus Sportster S. The Sportster 48 was the bad boy of the lineup. It had that massive front tire, the tiny peanut tank, and the 1,200 cubic centimeter Evo engine. It looked like a bulldog. It had 60 horsepower and 73 foot-pounds of torque. It is useless for touring because you will run out of gas every 70 miles, but it looks incredible parked in front of a bar. The ergonomics are clamshell, feet forward, hands forward. It is a torture rack, but a cool one. It feels mechanical. Every shift clunked into gear with authority. Its replacement is the Sportster S. This is a 121 horsepower monster. It uses the 1250T Revolution Max engine. It has a TFT screen with Bluetooth navigation. It has cornering ABS. It destroys the old 48 in a drag race. It does 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. It is a legitimate performance cruiser, but the character shift is jarring. The 48 was raw metal and noise. The Sportster S feels like a video game. The exhaust note is high-pitched. The customization options are limited because the bike is so complex. The 48 was a blank canvas. The Sportster S is a finished painting. Bulldog Bob from Houston says he traded his 48 for an S and regrets it. He misses the shake at idle. He misses the sound. He says the S is fast, but it has no personality. The price gap is massive. A used 48 is $8,000. A new Sportster S is $17,000. Let's look at the scores. Value is a C and DIY is a D. Good luck wrenching on this. Character drops to a B, comfort is a C, but the tech is an undeniable A+. If you buy a used 48, check the regulator rectifier. as they are prone to failure, and budget for a larger gas tank if you plan to ride further than the next town. We try to make videos we'd want to watch ourselves. If this one works for you, feel free to subscribe and drop a like. You'd do us a huge favor. Now we leave the Sportster platform and enter the world of the Dyna, where the anger towards Harley-Davidson really begins to heat up. Number 11, Dyna Street Bob vs. Softail Street Bob. This is the wound that has not healed. In 2017, Harley killed the Dyna platform. The Dyna Street Bob was the people's champ. It had a rubber-mounted twin cam engine that shook at idle but smoothed out at speed. It had dual rear shocks. It was the preferred platform for club-style builds because it handled aggressively. It felt mechanical. It had a hinge in the middle feel if pushed too hard, but that was part of the charm. It felt like a machine built in a different era. The replacement is the Softail Street Bob. It uses the Milwaukee-Eight engine. It has a hidden monoshock rear suspension. It is stiffer, it is lighter, and it handles better. The engine is smoother and more powerful, making 86 horsepower stock versus the Dyna's 65. But the Dyna bro culture hates it. Why? Because the Softail chassis lacks the visceral vibration of the Dyna. The M8 engine is counterbalanced to near perfection, which kills the alive feeling at stoplights. The Softail frame is harder to modify for extreme stunts. The battery box is plastic. The side covers pop off. It feels more disposable. The new Street Bob is for the rider who wants a turnkey cruiser that handles well. The old Dyna is for the rider who wants a project, a legacy, and that specific rubber-mounted shake. The price of a used Dyna Street Bob has skyrocketed because people want them so bad. You will pay $10,000 for a clean one. The new Softail Street Bob is $16,000. On the scorecard, value and DIY both sit at a B. Character is an A for the old Dyna, but drops to a B for the new Softail. Comfort and tech are solid Bs across the board. When buying a Dyna, look for a 2016 model to get the high-output 103 engine, which was the best twin cam ever made. If the death of the Dyna made you mad, the transformation of our next bike might actually make you sad. Number 10, Dyna Lowrider vs. Lowrider S M8. The Dyna Lowrider was the quintessential 70s chopper-style factory bike. It had dual gauges on the tank, plenty of chrome, and that classic raked-out look. It was comfortable, with a low seat height that fit everyone. It was a cruiser's cruiser. It invited you to lean back and enjoy the scenery. The suspension was soft, absorbing the road imperfections. It was a bike for all day, every day. The modern replacement, the Lowrider S, is a completely different animal. It is a performance machine. It comes with a massive 117 cubic centimeter Milwaukee-Eight engine. It has inverted front forks. It has dual front disc brakes. It is built to shred canyons. However, the Lowrider name implies comfort, and the new S is aggressive. The mid-controls are high. The bars push you forward. It is designed for aggressive riding, not relaxed cruising. Many old-school riders find the suspension too stiff and the position too cramped. They miss the relaxed, laid-back nature of the original Dyna Lowrider. Cruiser Carl says that the new Lowrider S is an incredible machine, but it isn't a lowrider. It's a sport bike in disguise. He kept his 2014 Dyna because he can ride it for 6 hours without his knees hurting. The new Lowrider S costs $19,000. A clean Dyna Lowrider is roughly $9,000. The scorecard hurts. Value is a B-, DIY is a C. Character remains an A, but comfort takes a hit at C, while tech jumps to an A. On the new M8 Lowriders, watch out for the gauge condensation issue. Nearly every unit fogs up in the rain. We have covered the cruisers. Now we move to the icons, the bikes that Arnold Schwarzenegger made famous. Number 9, Softail Fatboy Twin Cam vs. Fatboy 118 M8. The Twin Cam Fatboy is a legend. It had the solid disc wheels, the massive chrome headlight nacelle, and the wide handlebars. It looked heavy because it was heavy. It rode like a freight train. The twin cam engine, especially the 103 version, provided a deep, thumping soundtrack. It was widely criticized for poor handling in crosswinds because of the solid wheels, but nobody cared because it looked so cool. It was a hunk of Milwaukee iron that owned the road. The new Milwaukee-Eight Fatboy took that design and injected it with steroids. It has a 240 rear tire, the widest front tire ever put on a Harley. It looks like a steamroller. It has the 114 engine, which pulls like a tractor. But something was lost in the styling. The new headlight is a modern LED square that some hate. The satin chrome finish looks cheaper to some eyes than the deep, triple-plated chrome of the older models. The ride is stiffer. The wide tires make it reluctant to turn. You have to wrestle it into corners. The new Fatboy is for the extrovert who wants attention. The old Fatboy is for the classicist who wants the Terminator 2 look without the futuristic headlight. Prices for twin cam Fatboys are reasonable, around $8,000. The new one is over $21,000. How does it score? Value is a B, DIY is a B. Character holds steady at an A. Comfort and tech are both respectable Bs. Practical buyer tip? If buying a twin cam Fatboy, check the cam chain tensioners on pre-2007 models. If they haven't been upgraded to hydraulic, the engine is a ticking time bomb. The Fatboy is a style icon, but the next bike is the backbone of the touring world. And the changes here have split the fan base right down the middle. Number 8, Heritage Softail Classic, Twin Cam, versus Heritage Classic 114. The old Heritage Softail Classic was the ultimate old man bike, and that is a compliment. It had studded leather saddlebags, a massive windshield, and 3 headlights. It rode on the old Softail chassis with hidden shocks that were okay. It was soft, wallowy, and incredibly comfortable. It felt like a 1950s Cadillac. It floated down the highway. The leather bags had a distinct smell, and the studs gave it a Western flair that defined the brand for decades. The new Heritage Classic dropped the Softail from the name and darkened everything out. The studs are gone. The bags are rigid, lockable, and sealed, a huge improvement. The chassis is the stiffer monoshock frame. It handles drastically better. You can scrape the floorboards with confidence, but the look is controversial. The blacked-out windshield and the dark bags alienate the guys who love chrome and studs. The new bike feels smaller, tighter, and less like a floating sofa. It lost the nostalgic drift that defined the model for 30 years. Retro Ray says he test-rode the new Heritage and hated it. He said it felt too precise. He missed the lazy, heavy feel of his twin cam. He kept his 2010 model. The new Heritage is $22,000. You can get a mint twin cam for $10,000. The breakdown. Value is a B, DIY is a B. Character splits, an A for the old, a B for the new. But comfort and tech? Straight A's. A pro tip? The new Heritage bags look great, but hold less gear than the old leather ones. If you tour heavy, check the capacity first. I'm genuinely curious where you land on this. Old or new? What matters more to you? Let us know in the comments. We are entering the heavyweights now. The touring bikes. This is where the price jumps become astronomical, and the refusal to upgrade makes the most financial sense. Number 7, Road King Classic versus Road King Special. The Road King Classic was a gentleman's tourer. It had leather-wrapped hard bags, wide white wall tires, and wire-spoked wheels. It was dripping with chrome. It ran the twin cam engine and was purely air-cooled. It was simple, elegant, and timeless. It looked like a police bike from the 1960s. It commanded respect. Harley killed the Classic and gave us the Road King Special. The chrome is gone. It is entirely blacked out. The wheels are turbine alloys. The bags are stretched. It has the massive Milwaukee-Eight engine. It looks sinister. It is a bagger right off the showroom floor. What was lost? Elegance. The Road King Special appeals to a younger, more aggressive demographic. The older riders who want white walls and chrome have nowhere to go in the current lineup. They are forced to buy used or spend thousands adding chrome back onto a blacked-out bike. Also, the new M8 engines in the touring frames have had issues with sumping, oil not returning to the tank, in the early years, which scared off many loyalists. A new Road King Special is $28,000. A clean Road King Classic is $11,000. The report card, value is a C because it's expensive. DIY is a B, character is an A, comfort gets an A, and tech sits at a B. Practical buyer tip. If you buy an early M8 Road King, 2017 or 18, ensure the oil pump has been updated to the latest factory spec to prevent engine failure. But if you think the lack of chrome is annoying, wait until you see the dash on our next contender. Number 6, Street Glide Air-Cooled Veer Street Glide Liquid VVT. For 15 years, the Street Glide has been the best-selling motorcycle in America. The formula was simple: bat-wing fairing, stereo, air-cooled V-twin, 2 hard bags. It was the everyman's bagger. It had analog gauges that danced when you revved the engine. It was simple, reliable, and loud. The new 2024 Street Glide is a quantum leap. It features a new look with integrated LED lighting that changes the iconic batwing shape. It has a massive 12-inch TFT touchscreen that replaces all the analog gauges. The engine has liquid-cooled heads and variable valve timing. Some Harley owners are screaming. They hate the screen. They say, "I don't want an iPad on my motorcycle." They worry about the electronics failing in 10 years. They hate the liquid cooling pumps and radiators adding complexity. They miss the simple analog gauges that just worked. The new bike is objectively better in every measurable way. Wind protection, power, suspension, travel, finally increased to 3 inches in the rear. But it feels like a spaceship. The connection to the road is filtered through layers of technology. Analog Andy writes that he will keep his 2015 Street Glide until he dies. He doesn't want software updates, he just wants to ride. The new Street Glide starts at $26,000, but out the door with fees, you are looking at $30,000. Here is the reality. Value is a C and DIY is an F. Don't even try. Character is a B, but comfort and tech, A+ on both counts. One thing you should know, the new touchscreen is amazing but can be glitchy. Check forums for the latest software patch version before taking delivery. Quick note, if this breakdown is useful so far, leaving a like helps this video reach riders who are asking the same questions. And if the Street Glide is the popular kid, the next bike is the cool kid. And the upgrade here involves a massive shift in performance focus. Number 5, Road Glide Custom vs. Road Glide ST. The Road Glide with its frame-mounted shark nose fairing was once the ugly duckling, but now it is the king of the baggers. The older twin cam Road Glides were famous for their stability. They were mile eaters. You could set the cruise control at 80 miles per hour and light a cigar. They were spacious and relaxed. The new Road Glide ST takes that platform and turns it into a race bike. It has the 117 engine, raised suspension, bronze wheels, and lightweight parts. It is inspired by the King of the Baggers race series. However, many riders refuse to upgrade because the new fairing design fundamentally changes the wind protection. Some taller riders report more buffeting with the new design than the old one. Also, the price is eye-watering. The ST models and CVO models are pushing $40,000. For that money, you could buy 3 twin-cam Road Glides. The value proposition just isn't there for the guy who just wants to cruise at 70 miles per hour. The performance is wasted on the average rider. The suspension is stiffer, the seat is harder, and the attitude is aggressive. The scores, value is a D, it's just too much money. DIY is a C, character is an A. Comfort drops to a stiffer B, while tech is an A. Practical buyer tip. If you buy a twin-cam Road Glide, look for a post-2009 model. That was the year they introduced the new frame, which eliminated the terrifying high-speed wobble of the older bikes. Now we move to the ultimate luxury liner, the bike that has everything, including a radiator that nobody wanted. Number 4, Electra Glide Ultra Classic vs. Ultra Limited. The Ultra Classic was the gold standard of touring. It had the air-cooled engine, the tour pack, the lowers, and the comfort. It was simple. You could ride it across the desert, and sometimes it got really hot. It was a simple system. Oil and air. That was it. The modern Ultra Limited introduced the twin-cooled heads, liquid cooling for the exhaust ports. This means radiators hidden in the lower fairings. It means a water pump. It means coolant hoses. Riders refuse to upgrade because this adds a failure point. If the water pump dies, the bike goes into limp mode. You can't just fix it on the side of the road. Also, the new M8 engines sound different. At idle, the Ultra Limited sounds too polite. The potato lope is gone, replaced by a steady hum. Touring Tom says he has 200,000 miles on his air-cooled Ultra. He fears the water pump. He fears the complexity. He stays with air cooling because air doesn't leak. The new Ultra Limited is $32,000. A clean twin cam Ultra is $12,000. The verdict: value is a B. DIY is a D due to that cooling system. Character is a B. But comfort, that is still an A+. Practical buyer tip: if you buy a twin-cooled Harley, inspect the water pump weep hole. If you see pink crust, the pump is failing. We are getting to the top 3. These are the bikes where the old versus new debate is less about specs and more about philosophy. Number 3. V-Rod vs. Breakout. 117. The V-Rod was the red-headed stepchild of Harley. Porsche-designed liquid-cooled engine, aluminum frame, fuel tank under the seat. The faithful hated it when it launched, but now they love it. It has become a cult classic because nothing replaced it. It was exotic. It revved to the moon. It was a muscle bike in the truest sense. Harley tried to offer the Breakout 117 as the muscle cruiser alternative. It has the fat tire, it has the raked front end, it has the massive engine, but it is air-cooled. It revs to 5,500 RPM. The V-Rod revved to 9,000 RPM. It was a drag bike. The Breakout is just a powerful cruiser. V-Rod owners refuse to upgrade because the Breakout is slower, heavier feeling, and lacks the exotic nature of the Revolution engine. The V-Rod was ahead of its time, and Harley killed it just as it was getting cool. A used V-Rod muscle holds its value incredibly well, selling for $12,000. A new Breakout is $22,000. The scorecard: the V-Rod takes an A for value. DIY is a C, character is an A. Comfort is a miserable D, but tech sits at a B. And yes, V-Rods are bulletproof, but check the fuel flange under the seat. They crack and smell like gas. We are down to the final 2, the heavyweights. If you are loving this deep dive into Milwaukee iron, make sure you are subscribed. We have another motorcycle coming up that you do not want to miss. Hold on to your hats. The next matchup is legendary. It involves the bike that is widely considered the best handling Harley ever made. Number 2, FXR vs. Lowrider ST. The FXR, built in the 80s and 90s, was designed with Eric Buell. It had a triangulated frame that was incredibly stiff. It is the holy grail for performance junkies. It felt light, nimble, and connected. The vibration isolation system was perfect. It shook at idle but was glass smooth at speed. Harley released the Lowrider ST as the successor. It has a fixed fairing, hard bags, and the massive M8 engine. It is faster. It has better brakes. But FXR guys laugh at it. Why? Weight and geometry. The FXR feels like a bicycle compared to the ST. The FXR frame has a magic quality, a flex that works with you. The ST is brutal and stiff. The FXR is also infinitely customizable. You can put any engine in it. The ST is a computer-controlled system that fights you if you modify it. The refusal to upgrade here is purely emotional. It was built by hand, not by robots. A clean FXR can cost $15,000 for a 30-year-old bike. The Lowrider ST is $24,000. And for our scorecard, value is a perfect A. DIY is also an A. The character is even more superb. A+, please. Comfort is a B, while the tech is a F. Practical buyer tip: if buying an FXR, check the frame for cracks near the neck. People wheelie these bikes and they break. We have arrived at the final debate, the root cause of all this anger. It isn't a specific bike, it is the heart of the machine. And if you've made it this far, liking the video really helps the algorithm push this to the right riders. Number 1. The Evolution and Twin Cam engine versus the Milwaukee-Eight. This is the takeaway. This is why the dealerships are full of unsold bikes. The older Harley engines, Evo and Twin Cam, were flawed. They shook. They leaked. They got hot. They needed cam chain tensioners. They needed love. But that flaw was the character. When you started an Evo, it coughed, shook the mirrors loose, and settled into a rhythm that matched your heartbeat. You felt the explosions. You smelled the unburnt fuel. You were interacting with a machine that felt alive. It required you to participate in the ride. The Milwaukee-Eight is a better engine. It has 4 valves per cylinder. It flows more air. It runs cooler. It makes way more power. It is counterbalanced to remove 75% of the primary vibration. And that is the problem. It is too good. It is sterile. It feels like a Honda engine dressed in a Harley costume. At a stoplight, it hums. It doesn't dance. Harley riders don't buy specs. They buy feelings. They buy nostalgia. They buy a connection to the past. The refusal to upgrade isn't about money or performance. It is a refusal to accept that the raw, mechanical eerie of motorcycling is dead. They are holding on to their dinosaurs because they know that once they are gone, they are never coming back. 3 rules for navigating this civil war. Rule 1. Keep the old if you want a project, a connection, and a bike that will appreciate in value. If you want to wrench, buy an Evo or a Twin Cam. Rule 2. Buy used if you want the touring comfort, but refuse to pay $30,000. A 10-year-old Road King does 90% of what a new one does for 30% of the price. Rule 3. Buy new if you actually want to ride across the country without carrying a tool roll. If you value warranty, ABS, traction control, and passing power over soul, the Milwaukee-Eight is a masterpiece. The war between old and new will never end. One side has the tech, the other side has the heart. Which side are you on? Are you trading up for the touchscreen, or are you keeping the carburetor until they ban gasoline? Tell me in the comments below. Click on the next video for more rumble and freedom, and don't forget to click that like button, subscribe, and ride with us into the sunset. Vroom.